welcome back to another video. This video is from all my teachers out there who are now doing virtual learning. I don't know if I have all the answers, and I am sure that there are a ton of videos out there to support you in this new journey for moving the classroom online. And there's also a bunch of teachers who already have their classrooms online who are very educated, but I just wanted to share whatever information I could that would help make your journey better and kind of talk about my journey to e-learning. So I teach in the state of Illinois, and as of today, we are in shelter in place, but as of last week, we moved our classroom completely to online learning. So on Monday we had scheduled like an in-school institute day, so the kids did not have class and they weren't supposed to. On Tuesday was our voting day, so again our school is a polling place, so they were not going to have class anyway. So last week, Wednesday, was our very first day of e-learning. A snow day here or there, being in Illinois, that's easy. You can just do some review and things like that, but we were going to have our kids miss 8 days of learning, 2 weeks of school. So we really wanted to make sure that we continued with their learning as best we could. So there are a couple tools that I use to further their learning at home, and that gave me a great lens to see what they're doing and what questions they have. So my first tool that is really important is to use Google Classroom. The way that I have set up my Google Classroom has worked really well for me in order to sort through everything that I need and for students to know where to go. So I have a Google Classroom. Even though I have one class of students, 25 students, I have a Google Classroom for every subject area. That has been very beneficial for me because students know if it's reading class time, when they're at home, they open the reading class tab. I also have one bonus class that's called e-learning, and in that classroom it is like their planner. So they open that Google Classroom first and it will give their assignments for the day. That has been very beneficial as well. You can use a template. So the template that I use is a Google slide that I put into that e-learning classroom. And in that template, it has their good morning message and then subject by subject through the day. And the last slide is for them and their parents to check off that they've done all of their assignments that day. That is what they turn in to show me that they've done their work. The next benefit that I found using Google Classroom is when you go to create an assignment, you can also create a topic. This was new this year of Google Classroom. Before, it used to just be a stream of things and you'd have to search through all of the items to figure out what you were looking for. Now you can create topics and you can move the topics up or down in the feed of the classwork. The way that I have run it is that I have a date as the topic. So it'll say Monday, March 23rd. And then underneath, you will see the assignment for that day. It keeps everything organized, it keeps everything together, and the students are not confused at home. They know where to find their work, which has been very beneficial. Another thing about Google Classroom that I do enjoy is that the kids can private message me if they have questions in any of the subject areas. Which I also find really helpful is when kids ask a question, they are asking it in the class that they're in, reading, writing, math, social studies, and I can go right to that classroom and coach them through how to fix their problems. The private comments never go away and they are not seen by anybody else, which is wonderful, and it gives them a comment box to the right of their assignment once you create an assignment. Another tip is I have scheduled all of my releases to come out the morning of. That way their Google Classroom is only getting up to date on a daily basis. They're not getting flooded with 5 days in a row of all these courseworks, searching through every item. It gets updated in the morning because I have scheduled it. So in order to schedule on Google Classroom, you'll see a button that says assign and a little down arrow. Once you click the down arrow, you can assign and schedule those assignments to come out when you want to. It also means that if I'm still in my pajamas and I haven't brushed my teeth yet, it is a-okay. They're all scheduled, ready to go. I do a final OneNote check at the end of each night to see if the next morning is ready to go. Google Classroom is your friend. It's user-friendly. If you haven't done a Google Classroom, it's very simple. Once you set up your classroom, there is about a 7-digit code. You send it to your families and ask them to join. And then once they join your classroom, they are there and logged in. You can see all of their work. You can see what they need or don't need, and you can see who hasn't joined yet. So that's kind of our hub. That is what we use to talk to each other. That is what we use to give assignments out. That is where our students do the work. Now, our district has online learning platforms that we already used in the classroom that we are utilizing at home as a teacher. So we use the Eureka Math or Engage New York math curriculum, and the program Zearn matches side by side and reteaches every lesson. So we had about 5 or 6 more lessons before the end of our unit. So we are asking our students to go on and do their Zearn lesson, their challenge problems, their math chat, and then working on homework pages that they already had in a math book that we had made for them. So that has become our math teacher. Again, if they have questions, of course, they can reach out and ask them. There's also a great website called Embark, EMBARC.com. Embark, if you use Eureka Math or Engage New York, has all the homework answer keys for every grade level, as well as homework helper videos on YouTube. Now, our Chromebooks are not allowed to view YouTube videos, so it would have to be from a home computer. But if you're a parent out there and you're seeing this and you're struggling with Common Core math, these videos might help you walk alongside your child in these home learning experiences. So we use Zearn for math. We also use Reflex Math, as 3rd grade standards are to master all multiplication by the end of the year. So Reflex is a great, really positive platform our students already really enjoy. So we use that for math facts. It has addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Our kids are flipped into multiplication division because we're at this point in the school year. We also use a reading platform called News ELA or Newsella, however you want to say it. So we are using that for our social studies curriculum. And what we're doing is we are creating text sets based on the social studies unit that we would have been starting. So we would have been starting immigration unit for our 3rd graders. And unfortunately, we can't do everything that we had hoped to, what we would have done in a classroom. So we are assigning an article a day. Great thing about News ELA is you can assign it through Google Classroom. So you will see the results both on your News ELA dashboard as a teacher, but also you can push them in through Google Classroom. There is a 4-point quiz as well. So if you wanted to take them for points, you could, but I do ask that they do those quizzes to show that they've read and understood the material I've assigned for them. Those are another thing that you can push all at once, and just it will show up in a row of assignments and you can tell them which one to read each day. Or again, push the assignment through from your teacher dashboard and then do it each morning so that it doesn't clutter their assignment. They call it a binder on News ELA. 2 other new things that I have done this time around to make connection and community with my classroom is I use Flipgrid. So Flipgrid is an online platform where you can make small videos in response to a question. So each morning I create a Flipgrid with a question. So I've asked like, would you rather questions? How is e-learning going for you? What are you reading right now? What's your favorite character in your book? And then I create a video for them to see, and then they create videos for their classmates to see. So they kind of get to see each other even though we're social distancing and being apart from each other. The other platform I use, which is very simple to use, is wevideo.com. And for this, I have been making Read Aloud videos just for my class. So I'm not posting them publicly, but we had started Harry Potter and my kids did not want to not read it. And that has been kind of my kiddos' favorite part, I think, of e-learning, is they still get the voices and the characters and the expressions that make me the goofy teacher, I guess. But they really seem to enjoy those. WeVideo also, once you upload, you can video right from your computer, and it will take the audio and the visuals from your computer, and it can go right into Google Classroom as well. It doesn't create a public link, which is wonderful. tomorrow morning, I'm going to attempt my first Zoom as well with my class to start with a class meeting. I'm finding it hard not to hear them, not to see them, not to be there. So much about what I do as a teacher is creating an environment where they feel safe, respected, and able to learn, as well as fun. My classroom is Monsters, Inc. themed, and I spend hours and hours and hours building this room where they're excited to come into, and we are leaving it. People are like, aren't you having a great time? You're at home. It's like less work. And I'm like, now it's just, I'm never off. Comments and emails, I'm just there to support my families and my students as best I can. So there's no off switch now. And then I was thinking more about that, and I guess there really is never an off switch for a teacher. We go home and we think about our kids, and we never stop thinking about them and what they need and what I wish I did and what I didn't do and what I could do differently, and it just is a constant cycle. I've also found myself thinking of kids that are not been my students for years, but are they okay? Are they getting what they need? What is it like for them? Because I care about them. You never stop caring about your students. So those are kind of a couple of the platforms that have been really helpful for me as an e-learning teacher and virtual teacher, remote teacher, however you want to call it. And I hope it's helpful for you. Google Classroom, Flipgrid, WeVideo, Zoom meetings, Newsela, Zearn, Reflex. Those are all tools that I am utilizing right now to have my students learn away from me. I hope this video was helpful and that you got something out of it. Make sure to give this video a like. Write down in the comments if you're using any of these same platforms, or if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to help or go into further detail if I can.